gives to James and with the run.
King James is a global brand. The Cavs superstar dominates the NBA on and off the court in every respect, transforming himself from a high school prodigy to a national icon. But for all the championship success with Miami, the gold medals at the Olympics, the huge endorsement deals, movie roles, and adulation, on his return to Cleveland, LeBron isn't revered around the country compared to other great contemporaries. Why is this exactly? Is it the arrogance he displays on the court? Could it be about the amount of media exposure he dominates over other players deemed more worthy? Whichever way you cut it, LeBron divides opinion like a few others in the NBA. Many of the best that reach the top of the mountain have to drag some people down along the way, and James has his fair share. One of the most consistent aspects of this hatred centers on his ability to shape his image and write the narrative. Many people in his position would do likewise, orchestrating media events, giving sound bites to the media that deflect attention away from his poor performances and responsibilities, and generally making himself appear like a respected team man. At different stages of LeBron's career, some of this would have been true. Parallels can be drawn to Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, and Kobe Bryant as a major player in the game, but even the greats have their moments of weakness and regret. For all that he's achieved in the great game of basketball, no one can be this prominent for a long period without failing at crucial moments. He's only human after all. With the spotlight firmly on King James delivering the much-needed championship in Cleveland December 28, 2015, Phoenix, Arizona, USA, Cleveland Cavaliers forward LeBron James walks past head coach David Blatt against the Phoenix Suns at Talking Stick Resort Arena, with the spotlight firmly on King James delivering that much-needed championship in Cleveland. Put this down to being young and naive. The best youth prospect in basketball made headlines in 2003 when he was stripped of his eligibility after accepting 2 sports jerseys from a store in Cleveland during his time with St. Vincent St. Mary High School in Akron. The shirts were worth a reported $845, and while it only proved a bump in the road, it was an insight into how a young prospect can be put in a very awkward position. It's fair to say LeBron could not only buy those jerseys at the drop of a hat these days, but purchase that store out 20 times over. LeBron had only barely started his career in the NBA with the Cleveland Cavaliers, but he was impressed enough to make the USA squad for the 2004 Athens Olympics. America had always banked on a gold medal for the basketball tournament for obvious reasons, and once again went to Greece as unbacked favorites. But it didn't go according to the script, with LeBron only providing 14.6 minutes a game to average 5.8 points and 2.6 rebounds, seeing the side falter to bronze. The press castigated James for his poor attitude and for not acting like a team player. Not the first time he would be accused of doing this. In 2007, LeBron James decided to spice up the pretty bland affair that is the ESPN award show. He channeled his inner 1980s rapper vibe and rocked leopard skin pants, a black jacket, gold bling, and a Vanilla Ice style haircut while doing a funny little dance number on the stage. We think it was supposed to be funny and ironic, but the still images tell a different story. It's not worthy of being called something ridiculous and over the top like Carp Gate or anything scandalous, but this wasn't a good look at all. In 2007, LeBron was a beloved son of Cleveland and was viewed as a beacon of the city. Sitting in the crowd during the MLB playoffs between the local Indians and the New York Yankees, James had the temerity to wear a Yankees cap. One fan told the press, "The guy is the face of the Cleveland sports, and he's not even rooting for a team that's 100 feet from the building he's playing in." Fair point. Perhaps it was an early insight into his passion for brand, King James, rather than the love for his city. In the NBA and professional sports, players are free to move around from franchise to franchise as they see fit. But LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers weren't just another player-franchise partnership. The long-suffering town was desperate to build a championship-winning side, and for James to know this and run down his contract, putting himself on free agency to get the best deal possible and move to a team with the same ambitions, told the world that Cleveland's needs came a distant second to his. The jersey burning demonstrated how gutted this was to the Cavs faithful. The decision, brand LeBron, had carefully manipulated a situation where the NBA was collectively holding their breath to see where the basketball superstar would move to an ESPN build-up to coverage week after week. The exhaustive process was all designed as an attention-grabbing fiasco to put his name in light, and looking back, it didn't paint LeBron in a good light. "In this fall, man, this is very tough," James said with a smirk on his face. "I'm going to take my talents to South Beach, and I am going to Miami Heat." And that was that. A single press conference or media release would suffice next time, even a tweet. Heading into the 2011 final series against the Dallas Mavericks, LeBron was expected to be the key architect in delivering the Heat that championship. And he was so hungry to get his hands on it. After seeing Phil Jackson and Kobe Bryant take out another title a year previous with the Lakers, the long quest for glory was stretching out and the pressure was building. But it would end in tears for James, being heavily criticized for going missing against a Dirk Nowitzki-led Mavs to bundle out 4-2 while Dwayne Wade stood up. James was far below his best. He has since gone back on his word to state categorically that he regrets doing this and wants the chance to enter it. But in 2012, LeBron wanted everyone to know that the slam dunk contest was below him. With a championship on the line with the Heat, he told Fox Sports Florida that the event was something that could only be a hindrance rather than a help. No, it's over with. I'm getting too old for that. There were times when I wanted to do it, but I came into All-Star Weekend a few times banged up and I didn't want to risk further injury. Whereas in 2011, James departed from his high standards and was found out badly. In 2014, the final series loss to the San Antonio Spurs was a case putting in for nothing. His 28.2 points per game had daylight between him and the next best in the form of Dwayne Wade at 15.2. Greg Popovich's men took the series 4-1 in a dominating display of teamwork and harmony, contrasting to the one-man LeBron show. The Spurs had great all-round contributors in Tony Parker, Kawhi Leonard, and Tim Duncan. Even though his stats were outstanding over the series, LeBron's cramping up in Game 1 of the 2014 Finals became a huge talking point. Everything from the failure of San Antonio air conditioning to a war of words with Gatorade took all the headlines and set the negative tone for the Heat. The forgettable moment outlined how much was at stake, as LeBron told reporters, "I have nothing to say about the sports drink group. I'm not even gonna say their name. Two brands feuding. What a time to be alive."